Hello everybody, this is Tina with Tiaz's Treasures, and today I have for you a card using mostly Tim Holtz products. I do have a Simon Says stamp, Gothic Halloween background stamp I'm going to use. I also have one of the mini stencils with the bats and some black texture paste. I have this Witchcraft Die, and I have the die Vault Coffin box. I think I got this one out more for letters, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do something else with it. I also have some Distress Oxide Hickory Smoke ink and a piece of gray cardstock from my stash. And what I want to do with this is I'm going to first stamp it with the Hickory Smoke, so it's almost a tone on tone, but you should be able to see it with this Gothic background stamp. And then we're going to go ahead and use the texture paste and put some bats on this card. So let me go ahead and move these magnets out of the way. I usually use my little mini Tim Holtz stamp platform when I have red rubber stamps, and my Misty when I don't. That way I'm not constantly pulling out the foam piece, or in the Misty's case now, the grip mat to stamp on it. And I just wish when I saw this way back when I would have bought the full-size one instead of the mini. I don't know. Of course, I probably would use the mini more. So I got this little piece of, this is a Tim Holtz grippy thing, and I don't remember the name of it. It's supposed to keep my cardstock from moving, but I'm not very good at using it because it ends up moving anyway. So let's put that down and pick that up. And now stamp all over with this. This is an A2 card front, if I didn't already say that. I will be most likely cutting it down because I think we're going to use a black card base underneath it. So I'm probably going to cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. Let's get this down good. And this is oxide instead of the ink. The only reason is because I've got full-size oxide pads and just minis in the inks. And so I just figured this would be easier to, to use a full-size stamp pad on than a mini. Let me make sure I get that down. Let's see. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it again if it didn't stamp real good, because we're going to put bats over it anyway. And there we go. And it's stuck down just fine. As a matter of fact, it's got a piece, it looks like, of a little thread from, I'm smearing the ink a little bit. A little thread from the side of my ink pad, I believe. Let's get some tweezers, try to get that up that way. There we go. Okie doke. And let me just use my heat tool to dry that off a bit. I don't want this ink smearing. Taking a little bit longer than I thought it would to dry. I can still see the shine on parts of it. Let me put that aside and clean off my mat here, or my stamp here. wipe that off with a little rag. I've got microfiber cloth. Get that put away. Yep. I love this stamp. I don't get to use it enough, but I like it a whole lot. Okay. Put that on there. And put that up to the side. And the same with this. And now let's go ahead and we're going to just put that down. Let's see, probably right there. Yep. And if our witch covers up some of these, that's quite all right. And get my little, it's getting a little bit stiff. I bought this last year and I've tried my best to keep it from drying out. I had some press and seal over it, and then I went ahead and I got a big rubber band and I used that over it. And come on. Maybe I should have taped this down instead of using my fingers. But hopefully we will be okay. I'm just going to have to move this finger. That's going down beautifully. Scrape that off. That's less that has to come off in the sink. I got these two little ones right down there. I really don't want to get any of this off to the side. Let's see, any other bats where I missed anything? Does not look like it. Peel that off. And, ooh, beautiful. Okay, I'll let this dry and then I will be back. I'll let that dry and clean off my stencil. And yeah, then I will be back. Okay, let's put this together. I've cut out our witch and our little cat. I've got some gold stars here that I cut out using glitter cardstock, and I also cut out the word spooky using this vault, the vault coffin box letters. And our bats are dry, and like I said, I did cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. So let's glue it down and get that glue on there. And say hi to everyone. Hello. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Now let's get this centered here. This is some Hero black cardstock I'm using. It's pretty thick and it's a really nice weight cardstock. I originally cut this die out with some very thin black cardstock, and it didn't want to cut out as well as the little bit of thicker. This is like 100 to 110 pound cardstock, and it cut out much better than the I don't even know if it was 80 pound. It was just something I had and thought I'd use it up because it's just going to use the silhouette, but it didn't work that good. Now we're going to have to put our witch like right there if we want to see the broom. Do we want to keep this on, this little apron on, because you're not really going to see it. Well, you're not going to see it, so it's not going to matter. And we are going to end up popping the cat up on the hiney, just like it shows on the die, because that's where we have room for it. We don't really have room down there, not with the black on the black. You wouldn't see it. And I guess we could have done an A7, 5x7 card and had a little bit more room, but this is what I did, so let's just make the best of it. And let's get our witch glued down first. A little bit of glue there, and we want to make sure we get some on this very thin broomstick. Little lace here. We'll get a little few dots on the tip of this hat and on the brim. I mean, it does. You don't have to have glue absolutely everywhere, but you want to make sure anything that sticks out like that, you've got some glue on, so it doesn't end up getting caught on something and ripping. But the big dress itself, you know, we don't need it all over. It should be okay. Again, let's put that down, on her down, like that. And my dogs, I don't know what they see tonight that they keep barking, because there's nothing out there. I'm assuming that's a little glue coming through right there. It just looks white now, but it'll dry clear. Anything that looks white on this card will dry clear, which is a good thing because we have a little bit of glue sticking through various spots. Let me see if I can get a little of that up just by dabbing at it. Yeah. And now our cat. I really do kind of love the fact that this cat is going to just sit on this witch's, the witch's rump, let's call it. You know, to be polite. In polite company, we call it the witch's rump. In not polite company, I don't know. We could still call it a butt, I suppose. Anytime after, like, the movie Finding Nemo, we always say, you touched the butt, even though we're really meaning butt and not boat. It's like, you touched the butt. Oh, no. And let's see, right there. That cat is balancing precariously on the little witch there, but that is fine. It's a cat, and cats can do some amazing things, don't you know? I mean, now I'm wondering if I should have maybe left the bats off. You'd have seen the outline a little bit better. But I think it's going to be fine. Now we have got these letters that we are going to put across the witch. We just got to figure out where across the witch we're going to put these letters. Our little spooky letters. Now this die set does have only one of each letter in it, so you have to cut the O a couple times, but I mean, really, that's not a big deal at all. 2 O's is easy to do. Spooky. And exclamation point might be nice. We probably could have dug one out of a different set, but I don't think it would have had that same gothic quality. And this spooky, we're definitely going to, I think, need a ruler. We'll use a T-square to get it straight. Spacing shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah, we want to make sure that it is even on kind of both sides there. And my fat fingers, yeah, trying to, I had it and then I kind of lost it a little bit. And come on over here. And this is why we're definitely going to need a ruler. Yeah, maybe like that. Should we put it a little down a little bit? Where's my T-square, my little T-square? And maybe down just a smidge. Look at that, it's going underneath. That lot of good that's going to help if the letters go underneath your T-square. Maybe just do it like that. And it's still going to go underneath once they're off of the dress. Well, they're going to be fine on the dress. It's just when they're like the Y that is off the dress is not cooperating. So you know what we need to do there? I need to cut out a piece of black cardstock to make it even to the rest of the letters. That's what I need to do. Am I going to need to cut out a one for the S as well? Yes, let's do that. We'll cut out another S and another Y, and we'll glue them behind, and we will use some dark cardstock for that. So, find the S. There's the S. Is that the S, or is that, yeah, that's the S. The S and the Z are very similar. And the Y. Again, I apologize for my goofy dogs. I don't know what they see. It's dark out there. I think I am going to close this door in a second. Okay, do I have to dump all these down to find the Y? Why do I have to dump them down to find the Y? Because it's hiding, that's why. Oh, there it is, yay. Okay, get that. Put that off to the side. Shut the door real quick. I need to shut it all the way, but hopefully I shut it enough. Okay, so this is the same cardstock. I knew this little scrap would come in handy for something. I didn't know what at the time, but I thought something, well, this little scrap that came off that dress would work with. I'm going to put this through my Gemini Junior because for whatever reason, it just gives me a little bit better die cut using the plates I'm using versus my Platinum 6, which I'm sure is fine, but I'm having a trouble finding the right sandwiches to really give sharp cuts. Now, both of these. Okay, let's get these cut sharp after, you know, I just said they would. Well, they cut out at least, so that's something. And I don't think there's anything else I can do with that piece of cardstock. And let me get that popped out of there. And let me pop the Y out. Now we know the Y needs this this piece glued on. So we'll do that and get this little glue right on top of there. And get that Y glued on top of that. It'll make everything even. Okay, so there is the Y. I never get things to where you can't see the other piece of cardstock behind them. I mean, seldom anyway. Now let's get this S, because I do think those bats don't have enough dimension to lift this up where it needs to be. And a little bit of glue on the back of this S. And I'm not using my reverse tweezers like I did the first one because I'm hoping I can get a little bit better. I'm hoping I can get this lined up a little bit better to where you don't see the black behind it, but it doesn't really appear too much that I'm doing that. Oh, hello, you coming in here to bark some more? I would show you my doggy right here, the one just kind of nudged open the door and came in. He's not the one who starts the barking. It's my other dog that starts the barking and gets, Bruce is the one who's in the card room right now. Eddie gets to barking and Bruce just kind of has to run and see what Eddie is barking at, and then usually he joins in too. I'll be going to bed soon. That's what you want. And it's early as heck, but this dog thinks it gets dark and it's bedtime. So I go up there and I read. Okay, spooky. And this is not where we want all these pieces. We gotta get our kerning, you know, which is just a fancy word for saying spacing. We gotta get our spacing pretty good on these. But, how about right about there? We're gonna start with the Y, simply because this one is popped up, so I wanna make sure that it's not too much on the dress and we give it too much dimension. I don't know that that would really, you'd see anything. And look at that. How the heck is that clogged when we just used it? Such is my life. Okay, come on. I think I just bent my pin. Let's get a few glue dots on here. Get that down. We're gonna put that right, I'm going to press this down. Yeah, I'm going to press this ruler down, and we're going to put our Y right there. And now let's put the S down, and we'll figure out the spacing of the other letters. You can see I put a glue dot accidentally there. But yeah, when you don't have an easy way to do your spacing, doing the first letter and then the last letter will let you figure out the spacing for the ones in between pretty decently. Let me get that down. And then we will, that's gonna go there, and there, and there, and there. It's pretty close to this here. And if it looks off a little bit, well, it's a homemade card. It'll just look spooky. That's it. Okay. And put that right. I want that over just a little bit more. I would say that a black glue might be a good thing to invent, but then if it dried, could you get a black glue to dry clear? And I think it would just be because we don't like seeing this white glue on our black cardstock. It's just something visceral that makes it seem like it's screwing up the entire card when that white glue oozes. And let's do the K next. Come on, if I can get it. Okay, that little bitty dot is driving me nuts there. I gotta get that up, or at least some of it up. And I gotta hope for the best that it does dry clear and I'm not a liar. Okay. Well, Bruce left me. He ran back upstairs. He's like, well, if Mom's not coming right to bed, I'm still gonna go lay down there. The heck with her. And it looks like our Y might be a little bit higher than the rest of the letters. That's not a good thing, is it? Not a whole lot I can do about it now, except like ignore it. I guess that's about all I can do. Yeah, I do not like the way that Y is up there at all. Not at all. I wonder if it's still wet at all. I don't care. I got to do something with that, guys. We're going to have to fix it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I screwed this up big time. I'm just trying to scrape this off a little bit because we can still glue down our Y on top of this. Because if you notice, our Y has these little bitty points. It's pointed. So if I get that on top of there, and even if it's off just a little bit, it's not going to matter in the scheme of things because it's just going to look like that black is poking out. And it's still going to look a lot better than being way off, which is what it was. And this cardstock, that's just a little bit of the backing peeled off. We've still got it popped up. And let's, even using a T-square, I still somehow managed to get it off kilter. And that is still better, I think, than it maybe was. I don't know. And this is why I do not use individual letters, because we are all over the place, aren't we? Yeah, we are. We're going down. Our T-square somehow still managed to screw up our letters. You know what? Yeah, work with what you got. And I think I'm going to post this video anyway. And I'm going to see what kind of fixes I can come up with. But yeah, the Y ended up above them, I think, too much. And I'm just rattling. So let's put some of these stars on here. I think they might help a little bit. They'll help some at any rate. You might end up be looking at the stars more than you're going to be looking, hopefully, at how cockeyed my letters are. And yeah, put one here. I'm hoping to draw the eye up a little bit more so you don't really notice that we are all over the place. Do we want to put any on the bottom? Well, stars aren't normally on the bottom. I mean, we are using them as embellishments, but I think I'm just going to keep them all up here on the top, and I'm going to use every one of the ones we cut out. So let's go ahead and do that. If you did not mind my really, really bad letter placing, give this card a thumbs up if you want to see more of me making mistakes. I appreciate you being here and watching me do all this. I think I got that one already, didn't I? No, I did not. It's just a matter of, as these dry, they will stick. So, not my best card, by no means my worst. I think the worst ones are ones that I probably wouldn't dare put on camera. And this just doesn't want to stick on the first try, does it? But yeah, I wouldn't put my worst ones on camera, or I would just stop and start over again. We're pretty far into this one. And so I don't know that I would send this out. I think I would redo it. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to leave it in and you could see. And just goes to show you that the T-squares are not always perfect with certain letters that go underneath them. And yeah, it is what it is. But I still like the card. I just wish it was a little bit more squared. Anyhow, I'm going to pick up my mess, and that's going to be it for tonight. So it was driving me crazy that that spooky was not straight. And even though I said I was going to leave it that way, it just was bugging me. And so I went ahead and I cut out this piece of this banner, or whatever you want to call it. It says, and here this is twig and stump. And with some creative die cutting, I made it a little shorter, and I cut it out with the same gray that we had on our card front. And then I darkened it with a little bit of Distress Oxide Black Soot. And I went ahead and I cut out and glued on here Spooky. And this is going to go over where we had Spooky on the front of this card. Now, because the little tips of these letters were showing through my banner, you could see them underneath, I had to go ahead and scrape them off to the best of my ability and get it to where you're not going to see anything now. When I put that right over there, it's going to hide it all, and it's going to be straight. So I didn't do anything right here, but these two little ends, I've got some very thin black foam tape, and so we're going to use that so our ends aren't floppy. And we're just going to glue this right on top of where I scraped off those crooked letters. And it was a little bit of a pain. I used a craft knife to kind of just get them off. And like you could see, it's tore up. But because we're going to cover it up, it does not matter one bit. And nobody is going to be the wiser except you and me, you know, everybody who's watching this. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this back side here. Now, I probably didn't even get these letters completely straight on this Spooky, but it's a lot better, I think. Now it's just a matter of getting this little banner straight here. And yeah, we're going to get that straight. And I have a little bit, I think that's glue peeking out. Yes, that's glue right there. That is not the white paper that is still behind a little bit of this. We got most of it off. And this is the corrected card. I like this so much better. I think the letters are spaced out better, and we don't have to worry about it kind of going down like that. It just goes to show that using a T-square does not always solve every single issue you have with straightening your words out. If your letters are going underneath where that T-square is, it's not going to be any good. But if I had to do it all over again, I might just use a ruler and put a light line across there so I could put my letters that way. Or I could have straightened them out on a piece of cardstock. I could have put a letter here, a line here, and then I could have lined up my letters to cut them out and use this as kind of a guide and just stuck my letters, my gold letters, in where the gray letters were. If that makes sense to you, it should. Kind of like, you would use where you had these little outlines and you would put your letters right through like that. So anyhow, that is it for now, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you like the way I fixed this card, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.